Some doors should never be opened. But you're already inside. Welcome to the gate of horror. Step into the darkness and let the gate unlock the secrets within. Our story begins now. I didn't believe in bad locations. I believed in bad wiring, bad plumbing, bad neighbors, but not bad land. At least that's what I told my wife when we bought the house near Black Hollow Forest. It sat at the very edge of a long gravel road outside Asheville, North Carolina. No streetlights, no sidewalks, just trees, dense, endless. The realtor described it as peacefully secluded. What she meant was isolated. The nearest neighbor was half a mile away. Behind us, nothing but forest stretching for miles. The first time we visited, it was late afternoon. Golden light through tall pines, wind moving softly through branches. It felt quiet, calm, safe. Silence can be convincing like that. We moved in during early September. Just me, my wife Hannah, and our dog Ranger. The first few nights were normal. Crickets, wind, the occasional branch snapping somewhere deep in the woods. Ranger would sit by the back sliding door sometimes and stare into the trees. But dogs do that. On the fifth night at 1:37 a.m., Ranger started growling. Not barking, not whining, a low, steady growl from deep in his chest. I woke up immediately. He was standing at the foot of the bed, facing the window. The curtains were slightly open. Beyond them, darkness, complete. I leaned up on one elbow. "What is it, boy?" The growl got deeper. Hannah mumbled, "Probably a deer." I wanted to believe that. But deer don't make dogs freeze like that. Ranger wasn't moving. He wasn't blinking. He was locked onto something. I walked to the window slowly and pulled the curtain back a few inches. The yard was empty. The tree line about 30 yards out was still. Too still. No wind, no movement, just a wall of black. Then I saw it, about shoulder height, between two trees, a faint shape, not clear enough to define, but tall, standing, facing the house. I blinked. It was gone. I told myself it was shadow distortion, light from the bedroom behind me playing tricks. I closed the curtain. Ranger didn't stop growling for another 10 minutes. The next morning I checked the yard. No tracks, no disturbed grass. Nothing. 2 days later we found the first sign. Ranger wouldn't go outside. He'd always sprint into the yard the second I opened the door. Now he stopped at the threshold, whining, tail low, looking toward the trees. I stepped out alone. The air felt heavier than usual, still, quiet. And then I noticed something near the tree line, a patch of ground where leaves had been cleared away, not by wind, in a rough circle, about 6 feet wide. The soil beneath was darker, pressed down, like something had been standing there for a long time, facing the house. I felt my stomach tighten. I walked closer. The moment I stepped inside the circle, the woods made a sound, all at once, branches shifting, leaves rustling, like something had just moved away, quickly, retreating deeper into the forest. I backed up immediately. That night, Hannah heard it first. A knock. 3 slow taps. On the back sliding glass door. 1:37 a.m. Exactly. We both froze. Another 3 taps. Slow. Deliberate. Ranger started barking violently. I grabbed the baseball bat we kept by the bed. Walked down the hallway. Every light off. The house felt smaller at night. The knock came again. Closer this time. Not on the glass. On the wall beside it. I flipped on the kitchen light and looked at the door. Nothing there, no one on the deck, no footprints, no movement. But the knocking didn't stop. It shifted from the back door to the side of the house, then above us, on the roof. 3 taps, pause, 3 taps, moving slowly across the ceiling. Hannah whispered, "Call the police." I did. They arrived 20 minutes later, checked the perimeter, searched the woods with flashlights, found nothing. One of the officers asked, "Are you sure it wasn't an animal?" I nodded. Animals don't knock in patterns. The next morning, I climbed a ladder to check the roof. No damage. But along the gutter, mud. Smears of it, like something with dirty hands had pulled itself up. That afternoon, our nearest neighbor, an older man named Carl, drove over in his truck. He didn't smile. "You hearing it yet?" he asked. "Hearing what?" He looked toward the forest. "The knocking." My chest tightened. "Yes." Carl nodded slowly. "It starts with that." "Starts with what?" "Being watched." A cold wave moved through me. "You've seen something?" He didn't answer directly. "Don't answer it if it calls your name." My blood went cold. "What do you mean?" He looked me dead in the eyes. "It can sound like anyone." That night, at exactly 1:37 a.m., there was no knocking. Instead, a voice. From outside the bedroom window. Soft. Familiar. "David!" It was Hannah's voice, but Hannah was next to me in bed. Her hand gripped my arm so tight it hurt. "Don't move," she whispered. The voice came again, closer to the glass. "David, open the door." Perfect imitation. Tone, breathing, everything. Ranger began howling in a way I had never heard before. Long, desperate. The voice shifted. Lower, less precise, like it was adjusting. "Let me in." 3 taps on the glass. Pause. 3 taps again. Something scraped slowly down the window. Long nails, dragging. We didn't move. We didn't speak. After several minutes, the sounds stopped. But the silence that followed felt wrong. Not empty. Occupied. The next morning, there were handprints on the outside of the glass. Too long, too narrow. The fingers extended several inches beyond normal length. Pressed into condensation that hadn't been there the night before. We called the police again. They found no footprints leading to or from the house, just the circle in the yard. And now, a second one. Closer. About 15 feet from the back door. Carl came back that afternoon. When he saw the second circle, his face drained of color. "It's measuring," he said quietly. "Measuring what?" "How close you'll let it get." That night, we stayed awake. Lights on, TV playing, Ranger trembling beside us. 1:37 a.m. All the lights shut off at once. Total darkness. Then, knocking. Not outside. Inside. From the hallway. 3 taps on the wall. Pause. 3 taps again. Moving toward the bedroom. Slow. Deliberate. Stopping right outside the door. The handle began to turn. Very slowly. We had locked it. It twisted anyway. Back and forth. Testing. A whisper seeped through the crack beneath the door. Soft. Right against the floor. "I'm already inside." Ranger lunged at the door, barking hysterically. The knocking moved again, across the ceiling, inside the walls, traveling, surrounding us. Then, silence. Complete. The power came back on. The door handle stopped moving. Morning arrived too slowly. We didn't wait. We packed what we could and left that afternoon. Carl watched us load the car. "You're lucky," he said. "Lucky how?" "It usually doesn't let people leave." We sold the house at a loss. No inspection issues were reported. The new owners moved in 2 months later. Last week, Hannah received a message request on Facebook from someone we didn't know. It was a photo taken from inside our old bedroom, facing the forest, time stamp in the corner, 1:37 a.m., and standing in the tree line. Clear, visible, tall, watching the house. No, the caption under the photo read, "It knows your name too."